This video is sponsored by Surfshark. Well, it seems as if some of you don't quite like my big wing from a BMW M4. Well, on screen now is a BMW M4 GTS. And I've took the GTS as inspiration for modifying my BMW M4 competition, which not long ago was in a massive front end accident. And yes, I'm sad enough to put GTS on the dashboard. But now the M4 is looking a lot better since I repaired it, but we've still got a long way to go. Now, another difference between the GTS model and the competition model is that the GTS comes standard with around 490 horsepower, whereas the M4 competition comes standard with about 450 horsepower. But that is until today. Now there's a few things that we've got to do before we start tuning this thing. And one of those things is spark plugs. Now, when we first got the BMW M4, it obviously had that huge hole in the sump and in the gearbox sump as well. So we've done an oil change and we've done a filter change as well. But the one thing that we haven't changed is obviously the spark plugs. Now, the M4 is coming up to around 30,000 miles now, and I think that it's never had a spark plug change. So it's a good time to do it now, because by the end of this video, we will be going on the dyno and we will be tuning it. So a lot of the engine components will be going under a little bit more stress than usual. So if one spark plug is no good, then it's going to cause all sorts of problems. So it's a good time to get the spark plugs done. Anyway, let's do it. Now, in the BMW M4, there's 6 cylinders, and unlike the Golf R where the engine goes from left to right, the cylinders are actually in line, going from front to back, which makes it quite hard to get to some of the spark plugs right at the back of the engine. In fact, there's cobwebs there. No one's been there in that long. But I'm going to try and get away with removing as little as possible to get all these spark plugs out. Now, you need this special thin-walled 14mm socket to get down in there to remove the spark plugs. And as confirmed, it looks like these have never been changed. And in goes the new NGK spark plugs. Now, the first sort of 4 spark plugs were fairly easy to get to, but then the final 2 were quite difficult. So I had to remove all the trims, I had to remove the wiper blades, and this strut brace at the back. Before finally being able to get to the final 2 spark plugs right at the back of the engine. Now, there's a few upgrades that I wanted to do whilst we had the engine stripped like this, so I headed into Mallory Performance and grabbed some new charge cooler pipes and some MMR panel filters, which should help when it comes to the tuning side of the BMW M4. Thanks, Mallory Performance. And in goes with the new charge pipes, which went in just like the OEM ones. Out come the old stock filters, and in go the new MMR performance filters. And back it all goes together. That is definitely not a job I want to do again. That took so long. You have to take off so many parts just to get to the spark plugs. But now we've got the MMR panel filters each side. We've got new spark plugs, and of course we've got the new charge pipes as well. Let me just start this, and fingers crossed everything is okay, because I certainly don't want to take that apart again. Yes, we are all good to go, and for some reason it sounds a little bit louder now for some reason. Right, next step. Now, the next thing we need when going on a dyno and when tuning a car is fuel. Now, something that's like really looked over on is good fuel. So 99 ROM fuel. You see it supreme or regular, unleaded. Now, a lot of people think it doesn't make any difference. It actually makes a big difference. What happens is a lot of people go to Mallory Performance, which is where we're going to get the car tuned. They have 95 ROM fuel and they can't push the car as much as they wanted to push the car because the fuel's not good. Okay, now before we get on to the next step, there's some things we need to address. Okay, so the standard 0 to 60 time of the BMW F82 competition is, Hello? Hello, yes, I'm just checking that you're using Surfshark when you're connected to the internet. I've told you this 100 times before. Of course. Ah, good, okay. Well, are you going to explain what Surfshark is? Because they've sponsored today's video. So Surfshark is a VPN tool, which means Virtual Private Network. It encrypts all the data sent via the internet so no one can steal your passwords, view your private messages, view your photos, or see what you're doing online. Now, if you think public Wi-Fi is safe, then you're wrong. It's a goldmine for hackers, but not when using Surfshark. He's right, but preventing you from hackers isn't the only thing that Surfshark can do. Check this out. Okay, so let's say you're browsing Netflix in the UK and you want to watch Terminator 2, The Judgment Day, a classic, but it's not available in the UK. So you go over to the top right-hand corner, click on Surfshark, change your browsing location to the United States. Now you're browsing Netflix in the United States. Go back over to the search bar on Netflix, search for the Terminator 2 Judgment Day, and what do you know? There it is. So to get Surfshark today, click the link in the description box below. Use code Matt Armstrong. That's going to get you 83% off, plus an extra 3 months for free. And there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there is literally no risk. Go check it out. Right, here we go. Okay, so the M4 isn't really a 0 to 60 car. It's rear-wheel drive, 450 bhp straight to the rear wheel, so you can imagine what's going to happen. It's just going to light up the rear, but it does have launch control, and BMW claim that it does 0 to 60 in around 3.9 seconds. So we're going to see if we can achieve that, and then we're going to see after tuning it whether it's going to improve it or not. This car's really more of a 100 to 200 kilometer car, but we need a racing drag strip for that. All we've got is a private road now. I've got the Draggy app connected. Let's see what the 0 to 60 time is of my BMW M4 competition. Let's do it. Drive. We're in sport, everything is sport. Traction off. Let's go. Oh, it's short shifted. Woo! It's short shifted. And it didn't actually spin, but it proper bogged. Let's check the time. Okay, for some reason, it's not letting me launch it again. I don't know why. I'm doing something wrong, but we'll take the first run, which was actually 3.92 seconds, so actually not that bad. Okay, so this is where it all starts at Malibu Performance. But before we get on to tuning it, there is one more step that we need to do. And that is these downpipes. These downpipes are going to allow us to push the power that little bit more. It's going to remove all the restrictions from the exhaust. Obviously, we've already got a Scorpion exhaust on it, but these downpipes are going to allow us to go above that 500 bhp mark. Now, we have to do a massive shout out to OSPREY Performance for supplying us with the downpipes. Let's see how easy or hard they're going to be to fit. Okay, so the downpipes connect to the very front of the exhaust. So we have to remove this under tray here, then we can get to the 4 bolts at the front of the exhaust here. Then there's just 2 V-band clamps holding the downpipes on. These are really fiddly to get to, so me and Phil came in as a team. There's also 2 lambda sensors on each downpipe, which you have to get off as well. And here is one of the old stock downpipes, as you can see with the lambda sensor connected into it. We've got to remove that lambda sensor, connect it into the new downpipes, and up it goes into the car. And off comes the other downpipe. Shout out to Phil for the help. Then we'll wiggle the other downpipe up and over and connect it all up before finally putting the under tray back on. Okay, we are all on. That was a bit of a nightmare. Definitely not an on the drive job or in my ramp job.
Or on his own job.
Or on my own job. Me and Phil, we smashed it out. I think this is going to be horrendously loud, and it might actually, well, I might actually dislike the noise, but today we're going for power. We'll worry about the noise afterwards. I don't know exactly what this is going to sound like, but let's see. Phil's going to do the honours and start it. I think this is going to be horrendous, but I don't know. Send it. Whoa! Oh my god! Woo! That is so loud! It is a lot louder than before. What? well. On to tuning it. Okay, so the M4 is now on the dyno, about ready to get strapped down. I'm ready to see what figures it actually produces. It's a bit nerve-wracking because we've not really pushed the limits of this car since it's been crash damaged and the gearbox and engine sump was, well, no man's land. And as a thank you for watching my channel, Malawi Performance are going to give you guys a discount code for when booking your car in. You'll get 10% off any remapping when you use code MAP10. Just quote it on the phone or use the booking form in the description box below. Right, let's get this thing mapped. Okay, so we got Phil, as usual, on the tuning, on the dyno, in the M4. We're going to do stock run. Phil's going to tune it, then we're going to do tuned run, and we'll see what we can get. 450 is stock figures, that's what I'm hoping for. Maybe we get a little bit more.
A bit more with the bits you got on it.
Phil reckons it's going to be a bit more, but let's see. And 91 bhp stock.
Decent.
Yeah. Here we go for run 2. So Phil's, I don't know, Phil's done something which means base file. Then he's going to work off that. Let's see. It absolutely revs. Right, here we go, results for run 2 with the base file on.
535.
535.
695.5 newton meters.
535 with 695 newton meters. Okay, so Phil's done a bit of tweaking, see if we can push a little bit more out of it. So, third run, let's see. Okay, so the results, the final results, it is a hot day. This is what we got. We got 539 bhp with 698 newton meters of torque. Pretty much almost 100 bhp over the stock power. Definitely quicker than the GTS model. Let's get this outside and see what it drives like. This is always my favourite time ever, taking the car out after a fresh remap. Like, it completely transforms the car. Let's see if it's transformed this one. We've nearly got 100 brake more, so I definitely think it has. Oh my god! Oh my god, it's got so much more low end torque. Like before, you sort of have to wait until the power comes in. Now it's like instant power. It does light up the rear a bit, even in the drive, but this is quick. This is quick. I'm not sure how much quicker it's going to be off the line, but let's find out. Wait, before we do this 0 to 60, you guys need to hear how loud this thing is. This is probably one of the loudest cars I've ever owned. Headphone users, I'm sorry. It's so loud! Okay, same place, same app, draggy app. Let's do this. 0 to 60. I don't know whether it's going to be improved. It's rear wheel drive. We've got 100 brake more to the rear wheels. It's just going to light it up in it. Here we go. Bogged a bit. 60. Oh, we had a big spin. We had a big spin. It felt quicker. I don't know. 3.92 to beat, I think it was. Let's check the time. Okay, we actually got a worse time. We just done it in 4.24 seconds. I want to see if I can give it another go. If it'll let me. Okay, we are gonna have to call it at that because this car just hates launching. I cannot get it to launch more than once, but obviously we're not expecting a better 0 to 60 time. In fact, we've actually got worse, but I think that's because we've got a hell of a lot more power than before. We've got almost 100 bhp more going to the rear wheels, which is obviously gonna make it struggle off the line. But what would be interesting to see is a 1/4 mile time or perhaps a 1/2 mile time in this car now. It's got so much power and it's ridiculous. So much torque to the rear wheels, it's made it so fun to drive. Which now leaves me wondering, what next? This has become an absolute monster of a BMW M4 and it has become way better than I originally imagined. But there is a lot more we can do with this. But again, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I guess I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.